What's up guys, welcome back to another video. We are back after a 1 week break from our NSP Supercross series. We are in Cleveland, Ohio this week for round number 4. As always, we have got a SMXy style of track that goes inside and outside of the stadium, and from Aiden's mouth directly, he said this is his favourite one of the 4 so far, with a couple of different wheelie lines involved. As you can see right here, going round from turn 1, little wheelie into this rhythm section. I believe as we step up to go out the stadium here, we have another little wheelie line also, and then there is also not a split but an alternative rhythm as you jump back into the stadium, where you can choose to either double your way through these rollers, which means you then have to scrub off the end, or you can try and find a way of tyre tapping or scrubbing one of them to then double over at the end. So we shall see which one of them lines is the fastest. And then also the whoop sections on this track, the whoops do seem quite spread out, quite far apart, and then also fairly deep as well, so a little bit challenging there. So we'll try and spin some laps, try and show off the track to the best of my ability for all of you tryhards to study for the race later today. And if you are about later today, then feel free to stop by in the live stream. We'll be commentating the full night's events. So let's get into it. And straight away, the tryhards, and myself included, to be honest, what a good place to spawn. Just straight in, running hot laps and into qualifying. It's always a bit of a pain in the bum when you spawn miles away from the finish lines. You can't get straight into some quali laps. But let's try and spin a few laps here. And I also want to try my best to try and take some alternative lines, because it's not always the easiest to do on the fly. But I'll show you different lines here. So what you can do is you can double your way through these rollers, which then means you have to kind of send/scrub your way off the top here, which doesn't sound ideal for like line choice, but you guys know how good these OEM bikes are absorbing heavy impacts, heavy landings, so stepping off from that high doesn't feel too bad at all. Work our way around the flat corner here, little wheelie into a quad in, quad one more time and triple into the corner. Now you can go outside here, triple in and then quad all the way out, or you can go double in and then step on and step off. We have a Supercross triple here, which I keep jumping off the far left-hand side of, setting up this next corner. So I need to be careful of that. We have a little on-off quad and single into this corner. I've actually forgotten what's coming up next. We're going to send it in and hope. Little triple in. Okay, so triple in, step over here, and then double your way in. And then this is whoop section number 2. This one's easier. I think this one's got a slightly better run-up, where you're hitting a berm. Well, hitting a full 180 rather than a 90. And then this section here, if you use the rebound of the suspension, you can wheelie your way up and over on that right side, and then you can go quad, triple, single, I believe. I'll try and hit that a bit cleaner for you next time round. And then the alternative line is going on the left side, you triple in, and I think you go like quad, triple, something or other, all the way into the corner. It's always something that's quite enjoyable about Aiden's tracks, having alternative rhythms that are viable for the most part. So the alternative you have here is you can try and do like a little bit of a tyre tap, the soak one jump up, and then you can jump all the way out at the end, so you haven't got to land really flat. Just a bit of a safer option, and I'm sure the fast boys will find ways of making that quicker as well, just being able to soak one of the jumps up. Let me try tripling into here rather than quadding. So you'll triple in, step on, step off, and then triple into the corner again. The alternative line here is to double in and then step onto this table and then step off as well. I don't think you'll lose too much time, especially if you hug the corner quite tight doing that also. And we've got this little dragon's back. Can you step? Oh, you can step over the dragon's back and then quad and then double into the turn. That could actually be quicker than singling in. Let's hit this a bit cleaner. So triple in, step over both tables, double into the corner, round to the left, try and blitz these whoops to the best of our ability, and I think you can probably dive to the inside here and flat track this. So again, if we go up the top here, use the rebound of the suspension to wheelie up and over the roller. I've jumped too far this time, but yeah, quad, triple, and then single. You might find people dive into the inside here at the end of qualifying laps, just trying to save a couple of extra attempts there. Just, you know, little bits here and there that can make or break your qualifying. Obviously, where everybody's all in one group here, there's no EU versus NA, there's no 250 versus 450 classes. It's all to play for, really, so every tenth is very, very important. And then this swoop section here is a bit of a tricky one. Very intrigued to see how the track will just deteriorate for these guys as the night progresses and the road kicks in, because you're kind of turning as you enter that whoop section, which will make things tricky. take the back end there. What's the alternative here? So you kind of single your way through, go to the inside, double in, step on, can scrub back, so we doubled in much nicer that time. Then back round to the left. This is one of the shorter tracks, I think, of the year so far. But I don't hate that. I really don't. I think perfect ideal length for a Supercross track for me is probably around the minute mark. Because I don't like the super short ones that the real life tracks have had, where it's between like 40 to 50 seconds. And then we had a super long one for round 2, I think it was, that was like a minute and 40 seconds. It was crazy. So I think this is more of a sweet spot. I wonder if... I checked up on that triple in there. I wonder if you can quad into this section on that right-hand side. Let me take a quick little detour, and I'll try and do... I'll do your guys' work for you. Usually this is time that the pro boys will have to be spending learning the track. Let me try and work things out for you instead. So if you stay low here, can you... Oh, you know what? That could be suspension dependent. I generally think you might be able to quad in there. All depends on how much speed you're carrying and how well you can scrub that and then stretch that out. Oh, that's really close. So there could be a big boy line going through there. But then whether it's quicker or not, you never know. It probably is faster to go on the right hand side, keep your wheels down on the ground, tracking forwards. What's the alternative here if you can't triple in? So you go double, just a double, triple, single. So ideally you want to go triple through there. And I wonder, as these Supercross tracks erode, there's a few laps where the track actually gets quicker, where you get ruts forming in the turns, it holds the tyres more. I wonder if, as them ruts form in here, you can hit this corner faster, and then maybe try tripling out of this to get yourself into this rhythm that you want here. So then you're doubling, and then you can double all the way out at the very end. So that could be something to look out for. There's a couple of the rounds so far this year, or a couple of rhythm sections, where some quads that weren't viable become viable during the race as the road comes in. So just something else to watch for, see if anyone wants to pull the trigger there, find some big boy lines. I don't think you can get anything too crazy through here, like weird tyre taps or anything like that. I think the fast line is going to be to wheelie over the roller and then quad into the section after that, and then triple quad through here is going to be the quickest. If you take your back end like that, you can go triple in and then go on off. Then just the Supercross triple is the Supercross triple. You have the option here to step over this table or jump onto it. But if you step over it, you can jump all the way into the corner rather than singling into the corner. And this might just be personal preference, because I think I lack the skill to jump into the corners too well anymore. But I always prefer, if I can double or triple into a corner rather than then having to jump into it from a single line, 10 out of 10 times I would happily take the jumping into the corner line. And you go quad, triple. You might be able to quad out there if you downside that triple nicely. Let's give that another attempt as well. Perfectly placed marker. So if we go over to the right side, wheelie this, try and check up a little bit, scrub this triple quite hard, try and get everything, tap the back brake. Yeah, there you go. But I think that's going to be the fastest line. Unless you can go quad, but it seemed like there was quite a lot of room that you had to make up, so I think quad, triple, quad, get all the way into the corner, probably the fastest way. And again, I like the alternative rims here, because it's more satisfying to check up one, but being able to just send it all the way off this into the turn, bit of an aura move. Imagine just yeeting that up to the inside of somebody and making a pass. It's going to be very interesting to spectate, so I'm excited to commentate on that and see what line people take. It doesn't feel like one is massively quicker than the other. I think this room here might be the most one-lined out of all of them, hitting that quad in. I don't see any reason why anybody wouldn't go for that quad at all. And then triple quad through there. Hitting the Supercross triple again. Let me step onto this table this time. On, off. Little double out. And then what if we double in, step over, quad into the corner maybe? No, not quite. I want to see if I can hit this quad line on the left-hand side. Yo, yeet. Oh, maybe. Oh, it was close. I still got it anyway. So quad, more quad, triple, double. Felt quite nice there. I think you might even be able to go quad, 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 single, but again, I'm not a fan of singling into corners. Oh, that's really, really difficult. This could, again, could be suspension dependent. Depends how much your suspension rebounds on this first jump there. And it also depends how deep you jump. What if I full send it and we try jumping into the face of it? And then we can use some of the rebound of the suspension. Nasty, came up short again. That's a really, really tricky one. Knowing Aiden, he's probably tested this, and he can probably also do it on a Suzuki, since that's all he rides, which is the frustrating part. Here I am struggling to do it on the fastest bike, and Aiden's probably busting it out no problem on one of the slowest 450s. But you know what? It's not my job to hit that line or even hit it consistently. I've done it once. That's all I needed to do to showcase it to people. I'll let all the fast boys deal with that for the rest of it. Alternatively, you can kind of go on, off, triple, oh god, and then probably triple all the way down to here as well. So through that one section, depending on what side you take, left or right, I think there's like 3 or 4 different rhythms that you could take through there. And it's a common theme of Aiden's tracks this year, is if you get out of a rhythm, you can get back into it again before the rhythm's finished, just with the way the jump faces have been built. You're not stuck doubling your way through the entire thing. You can get back into like a triple or even quadding rhythm if you just take your time and roll one jump and get on the power and see it bounce again. So pretty enjoyable track, I'll be honest. Aiden said that it's his favourite one out of the 4 that he's made so far, and I'd have to say it's definitely up there. I definitely prefer... It's definitely better than the pre-season track, I think, but I'm trying to rack my brain because we've had a week off. My brain's not really working. I can't remember half the tracks that we've done. All I can remember is the really, really long one that we had. But this one's got a good flow to it. And again, I like the alternative rhythms. And it's a bit... It's not so techie in terms of the rhythms are really, really hard to do. It's more technical with him adding in them little wheelies at the start of sections to soak up the singles, like this one just here to the left. So most of the top boys should have no problem with obstacles like that. But for some of the people that maybe they're slightly newer to Supercross, that's one of them skills that will really, really benefit you. Because you can carry that around everywhere. You know, if you're outdoors and there's a particular bump or something that you don't like, you can also just try and pick the front wheel up from time to time. Just little pickups like that, they're really satisfying. Just if you can hit that wheelie and then hit a rhythm after that, I think that's probably the second most satisfying technique to learn in the game. The only one I would say feels better is hitting a really, really nice tyre tap into a rhythm section. So, funny enough, basically for the most part, another Supercross technique. But that'll do it for round number 4 here in Ohio. I hope you have enjoyed this one. Hopefully it's been helpful to you in some regards for your racing later today if you're competing. And like I said in the intro, if you don't mind stopping by for the live stream later, if you are not good enough to make these races yourself, you can watch how it's done from the Fast Boys. We'll be commentating the whole night's racing from qualifying all the way through to the main event. So hope to see you later on today. Hope you've enjoyed this. Enjoy the rest of your day prior to the racing, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.